When I was first diagnosed, I was in excruciating pain. And I remember walking in for chemo with my mom and they're like, do you want a wheelchair? And I was like, no, I'm gonna walk. And me and her joked because it felt like we walked for 30 minutes. It was so hard. I could barely walk in there. It was such a big deal for me to walk in there. I think when people think breast cancer, they think okay, it's gonna be a hard fight for a year or two. It's gonna suck, but you're gonna be fine. It's not so bad. But nobody talks about stage 4. How many people won't live past 2 to 3 years? How big of a deal it is to be stage 4. People don't really talk about that. I really was very big on why did this happen to me in first? When I was diagnosed, I couldn't find anybody who was young and had kids who was stage 4. And I wanted to. I had a lot of support, but I just wanted someone like myself, someone who understood what I was going for, because at first people would be like, you got this, you'll be better soon. They didn't get it. This is terminal, that's it, So I really wanted to find someone who was like me. And at first I went on these groups and I went on all these breast cancer under 40, living with stage 4. And this girl responded to me and we were just talking through Messenger. And I found out that she was stage 1 or 2. And I was so happy for her that she was doing good. But I sort of wanted to find someone like me. And I was telling her that. And she said her friend from college got diagnosed at the same time and she was stage 4. So she introduced us and we've been talking for a year now. So she was my first friend with MBC, and we would chat and text, and I actually just met her a couple weeks ago in person for the first time. So that was really cool. It's funny because I feel I've known her forever, but I just finally met her in person. She told me about Light Up MBC, which is October 13th. It's a national campaign where they light buildings up all over the world. So all 50 states and countries all over in pink, teal, and green. And they light the buildings up to raise awareness for breast cancer and to raise money. So she tells me about this and I'm like, oh, that's great, I'll watch it. So she's like, well, you could watch it or you could be a part of it. So this was August and it was happening in October. So I was like, well, how do I do it? I saw there was different pages and stuff. And she's like, oh, just make a page. So I just made this page and I put it on Facebook. And I raised $17,000 from friends and family just donating. And then the producer reached out to me and she's like, will you be the state captain for New Jersey for Light Up NBC? And I said, yeah. I said, I'll do it. And I'm like, when do we start? And she's like, we start, in July. And I was like, okay. I was like, but I want to do something now. So my 2 friends from college said, let's figure out something to do. So we threw around all these ideas. Are we going to do a can gym? Are we going to do a race? Are we going to do a golf outing? What are we going to do? So my sister said to me, let's do a color run. Okay, so if they're on the list, they get 1 swag bag per family.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Derwin. I am Tara's sister. I just wanted to quickly introduce Tara. She is the reason we are all here today, raising money for this amazing nonprofit to help find a cure for metastatic breast cancer.
Tara, they asked her to become the state captain for Medivivor, so she wanted to come up with, something different than just asking for donations, something that people can come to and enjoy. She thought about doing a 5K in town, and I actually said you should do a color run. I had done one years and years ago, and it was I love color runs, and they're not around all the it's hard to find. And I thought the kids would actually really enjoy it too. It's a good family event.
All I can say is thank you from the bottom of my heart. The support and the sense of community in Midland Park is like no other town in the world. In March of 2021, I was diagnosed at the age of 38 with metastatic breast cancer. And as you have heard today, that doesn't have the best prognosis. At first I wondered why that happened to me, and then I finally knew why. I believe that I received this diagnosis to raise money and spread awareness to find a cure for metastatic breast cancer. I was very saddened to find that with other organizations, less than 5% of funding is donated to finding a cure for MBC. But then I discovered Mediviver, an organization that puts 100% of donations towards finding a cure. When Mediviver asked me to be the captain for New Jersey for Light Up MBC, I was thrilled to accept. The first thing I wanted to do was hold an event that my children and the entire community could come to. And that's when the idea for the Color Run was born. I was hoping for 300 to 500 participants and to raise $15,000 to $25,000. Needless to say, we smashed that goal, had 750 people sign up, and raised $75,000. We now plan to make a template and roll the race out nationally so Medivivers all over the world can do this race in their hometowns. I pray every night that this is the catalyst we need to get the change, to get more funding for a cure for metastatic breast cancer. I fully intend to be alive to see the cure for metastatic breast cancer. Thank you all.